Okay, we are live right on the dot. Let's make sure. The usual sound checks. Get the thumbs up. We had a brief echo, but that was taken care of. And welcome, until I get the thumbs up. Welcome everybody to this 144K New Moon Mass Meditation, or as we energetically call it, Mass Intervention. And great to see, as always, the usual veterans present here. And I say that with enormous, admiration. And I'm talking on behalf of all off-world and inner Earth groups as well, just to be clear, because it's sort of, I don't know, what's the word, dubious about how much they can directly intervene here on the physical surface with, dark workers, I guess, and witches. And, in the broad scheme of things, who's really representing the average person on the street, struggling with life, being the energy is harnessed like batteries. Although that's not much of an issue these days, or anywhere near as much. That infrastructure has been removed. But obviously, we want to see a transformation of these energies. We want to see a turnaround of what it feels like to get up every morning or to go to bed at night or when interacting with others. We all want to regain that happy confidence, zest. And if you don't have that or haven't had that, well, I guess it's the nature of war, first of all, but also, there's always the very hard and tense periods of time when the energetic purging just reaches that climax, and it was always going to be like this, both on our internal bodies and emotions as well, not just the external. Which is another reason why you command so much respect and admiration and love. And yep, needless to say, as the inner Earth groups have recently, very recently, like in the last 48 hours, communicated to us surface dwellers that, the victories keep on rolling on. And I don't doubt that. But we need to make life and the energies for us better now. We understand that the so-called event has its own timetable. We understand that. But we need to make life better now, beginning with Starseeds and beginning with active Starseeds. And in the coming weeks and months, we're going to be putting far more focus on that. As a quick little FYI, taking things to a whole new level when it comes to Starseed well-being. So that the army of light only grows bigger and stronger. so that the unity and that loving, visceral bond between each other coming from that unity only gets stronger. Something you can almost feel and touch and taste and go to bed with at night. That warms your heart to increase that network of light as a result on the surface where it's needed most. So, well, I guess longer term plans are very much there and big and critical. As we're about to move the energies tonight on this new moon, you know, the purging cosmic winds, both from the galaxy and let alone through the sun, have been difficult enough as it is. Exposing any and purging any weaknesses within and without us, but also bringing down the matrix even quicker. The victories roll on, and we are going to, courtesy of our proud tradition, with the 144K, turn around the energies for Gaia, for planetary liberation on the surface here at the physical level, but also for you. And I really mean that. To reactivate inspiration, anticipation, excitement that most of us had when we, in the first couple of years of so-called waking up, right? There was nothing stopping us back then, right? Well, it's time to start reactivating that. Make planetary liberation great again, is how I've been jokingly calling it sometimes. And we have plans here at 144K HQ to make that happen for you as well. As you start to breathe deeply, and slowly through your nose only, and apparently holding it on the out breath for 3 seconds or so helps you absorb even more oxygen. So let's unify our energies and synchronize our energies by breathing in deeply and slowly through our nose and then holding it on the out breath for about 3 seconds, for about a minute, which of course effectively begins the mass meditation. And as you breathe, know that on Thursday and Friday of this week, we have the Mercury Cazimi, which means Mercury in the heart of the sun, bringing in either massive news or extremely revelatory insights, both personally in our lives, not just externally, of a positive kind or transformative. So watch out for that. We're going to make it even better news because we're going to raise the timelines. As we also harness this positive astrology these days, as we are requested by off-world groups to harness, fully take advantage of recent victories by the light forces, to take things even further. All right, see yourself in a gigantic crystal ball. Look all around and see the smooth, dark toned, silver, very translucent walls of the crystal ball as we form that massive channel of high dimensional light that is that 144K dotted around the inside of the equator of this gigantic crystal ball. Look over to your left and right and see the next few 144K members in their golden light bodies, if you prefer. It's cool. There's not too many rules up here. To really bring in that mass, huge amounts of multidimensional light, even from way outside and above the whole multiverse. So if this is your first 144K mass meditation, you'll be assisted and supported and invited and encouraged to go way beyond your current level of consciousness, your current paradigm, because you know how all that is. There's always more to discover. Let's bring in Gaia, authentic Gaia, and you can call her in your own way if you want, or just play along, listen along. Authentic Gaia, authentic Gaia. We call upon the one true authentic goddess Gaia. Please be here with us. Right here, right now. Now see Gaia. Right in the middle, right in the center of this dotted golden ring. And, of course, the crystal ball. Adore, admire the beautiful white polar ice caps. White clouds over the blue oceans. And always remember, folks, reality is a projection of your consciousness. Very much literally the case, and very literal when projecting your consciousness from the physical to the non-physical of any level or realm. Here, on the physical 3D matrix, it's more of a mixed bag because you have this thing called consensus reality, which obviously is the primary influence, but still true. Projection is a reality is a projection of your consciousness. As always, do, in this case, visualize, I suppose, but don't think, or do, or visualize before you even get a chance to think. That way the analytical or rational mind doesn't have a chance to get in the way. It's all instantaneous. Totally fine if the image is faint. Totally fine. It always seems to be just as effective. And now we start to move up through the layers of this universe. You notice the first few horizontal, thick layers of light, I guess, before that familiar, comforting, centering, therapeutic, rapid but soft flickering of light through the translucent walls of the crystal ball. Return. As now, effortless way, driven by your intent, we rise up through the layers of this universe. And it's perfectly still and peaceful inside. Gaia, perfectly still and beautiful, right in the middle. Again, you never have to see things perfectly at all. See, don't think. Visualize, don't think. It's all instantaneous, literally. And for those of you who consciously work with guides, your own guides, you can go ahead and call them in now if you haven't already. And we are going to focus on really turning these energies around. Remember to breathe deeply and slowly through your nose as we observe the beautiful clouds over the oceans and continents and polar ice caps of Gaia. As we rise above or racing towards that last thick outer boundary of this universe. Take your last glance at Gaia, and all of a sudden, everything goes bright white. As the flickering stops and we reach and push through that last thick outer boundary of this universe, and it's very bright. You have to squint your eyes, it's so bright. You can barely see Gaia in the middle. And we're through. The bright light disappears. It's gone nice and dark again, visually speaking. And you see a big ball of light that is the universe that we just left appear beneath us, rapidly turn into a small ball of light, and you see a whole ocean of small balls of light beneath us. Of other universes in this quadrant or portion of the multiverse, and that all turns into a smaller ball of light as we rise above that particular multiverse, and we rise above a whole ocean of multiverses. In order to reach such unfathomable levels of power. Because the further out you operate from, the more power. A little energetic secret there. That way they can't compete with us. It's as simple as that. That's why we do this way. The 144K way, I guess you can say. And the whole ocean of multiverses beneath us. That all just disappears beneath us. As you take a glance at Gaia and your guides and everyone else as we continue to rise to unfathomable levels of extreme highlight. Enjoy the scenery while I quickly run through some standard protocols. Authentic Gaia. Authentic card, we call upon the one true authentic card. Please make sure we go to you and no one else. True hard. And if you're new, we're traveling up to managers of multiverses with extreme levels of power and authority. Needless to say, they work on behalf of Source, of course. And it's nice and still now inside this crystal ball. So let's glance at Gaia and let's look up. Through the roof of the crystal ball, you can see a point of white light way off in the distance. It's getting bigger and bigger and brighter, and it begins to now light up the roof of the crystal ball, and we finally reach it. We come to a sudden, yet somehow gentle stop, and then we gently and lovingly move through this thick platform of light as it lovingly and slightly envelops the crystal ball. And it closes at the bottom, opens up at the top. And another good, well, I was about to say motto, but truth to remember, one of my favorite, which is Pablo Picasso's "Everything you can imagine is real." Well, that's true, because reality is a projection of your consciousness, especially and literally when projected from the physical plane to any non-physical realm. As it opens up at the top, receive the image. And we gently nestle on this platform of light. We form a straight line behind and a bit above. Just do or visualize before your rational mind even has a chance to think. That's the psychic secret, because the answer is right where the intent or question is. They both go together in a way. Alrighty. The crystal ball peels evenly, but slowly from the top center, slowly down, to allow new 144K members to better easily sort of acclimate to this huge and it peels nice and slowly all the way down. Just breathe deeply through your nose, nice and slowly. And now to really bring us into a powerful, deep now moment. Look up and see, feel, and connect with these very far away, although they appear very close, light beings that you may simply be seeing as light beings. That can really rip through anything in no time. They're so amazing. And establish your own connection with them by feeling their unique energy signature. Feel what they feel like. And just pay a little bit of background attention on the center of your head, your thalamus area, where a lot of our higher senses are initially, before we move down into the heart for more power. Power, 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 and more power after that. That's the way we roll. Now look, see, feel. Because reality is that projection of your consciousness. And who you focus on is who you connect with. Unleash your mind, unleash your consciousness. If you're new, you may be yawning a lot or having trouble staying awake even, especially if you're in the US. East Coast in particular. And I'll be quiet for about a minute. Feel, see, hear, play, let go. Your intent has been set. Authentic Hod, can you please send us a massive wave of your energy so we can truly feel you to an undeniable, unmistakable, physical level? And just focus on them without an ounce of trying. Gaia is still there. She hasn't gone anywhere. Remember to breathe deeply and slowly through your nose. Very important. And just being up here, so high up, above all that is very clearing and cleansing on your field, your aura. I know you sensitives need to hold on to your chair. Authentic Hod. Send us a massive wave of your energy to our hearts so we can feel you in the heart, in our chest level, to really anchor us in the heart, operate from the heart. And of course, that does not mean forget the head or the mind for that matter. It doesn't mean that. You just have a little bit of background consciousness on your chest, I guess, heart, or even solar plexus. You just pay a little bit of background attention there as you look at them and primarily focus on them. Needless to say, this already begins the mass meditation. It's long begun. We're just getting deeper and more impactful for an even higher timeline raise, personally and collectively. Some of you, if you're new, you may have trouble, I suppose, only because you don't really have a reference point for such energy. That's okay. Just be here, be present here with your consciousness, which is who and what you already are. And above all, your consciousness is already everywhere already. If you didn't know that, you know that now. Use that. You really are the controller of your reality. It's just a matter of projecting your consciousness the right way, and that's who you connect with. That's the construct that appears. It's that simple, especially these days. All right. Alrighty, remember, just being here with them is very cleansing and upgrading, recalibrating your system. All right. Shift a bit of focus on back onto your guides and Gaia while I quickly call in the rest of the teams. I call upon the infinite army of the authentic Gamalgan, who are big into auric technicians. They're in ships coming up beneath us. And they're all about transmutation as well. And they are a direct lineage of the small team of beings that created this universe and physicality, unique physicality. I call upon the elders of the Gamalgan. Which is a couple, basically, Marin and Rue. Call upon the team of beings that created this universe and the unique physicality as a way to figure out how to corral the dark back to the light. They present themselves as a man. You can just see him as a golden being of light off to the right, perhaps. Okay. Repeat after me, everybody. I call upon all of my higher density aspects, higher self. See him or her, god or goddess, off a little further to the right, on Oberon's left, perhaps. Multidimensional action is what it is. And repeat after me. I call upon the entirety of my soul, oversoul, and I am. And so your soul appear as almost like a distant star above the hod, perhaps. So your oversoul as a slightly bigger ball of light, perhaps in a different color for the sake of differentiating. And then behind that, back to white perhaps, an even bigger ball of light, forming like a ring of long, infinite rays of light behind your oversoul. That is your I am, authentic legion of light. Here is Gaia. Here is the brave and the free, we can certainly say. The 144K. Okay, now look up at your I am and the HOD and repeat after me. Take us all to the space and place of omnipresence. As your I am, who is fundamentally omnipresent, takes you there. Everything goes bright white. Gaia's coming with us. Again, you have to squint your eyes. It's so bright and you can barely see Gaia in the middle. Enjoy the ride, because reality is a projection of your consciousness. When? Well, especially when projecting it from this unique physical realm, pretty much anywhere else that's non-physical. And the bright white light disappears. Everything looks the same. The stage is now set for us to concentrate and focus many multitudes, and I'm talking many hundreds of more power and light onto this little blue planet. Limited only by your consciousness and understanding of energy. Which I guess is what the 144K is all about, making sure it's fully harnessed for a far quicker, safer, smoother ride to unconditional freedom and return, full reintegration and return to galactic society. Okay. Authentic legion of light. It is Monday the 26th or Tuesday the 27th of May 2025. We hereby request a true reset, a true new beginning of new energies, transformed. The energies have been very brutal because of how cleansing and detoxing and purging they've been, especially since the lunar eclipse of March the 12th. We hereby request radical healing on Gaia and the collective, radical, next level healing for all of us, ultimately to bring us far closer, far quicker, and far more safely and comfortably to not just the event for the whole planet, and unconditional love and freedom down to the surface, but also that mini event for starseeds, beginning with active starseeds, to get that healing, relief, bolstering of our energy, reconstitution of our energies, our minds, hearts, and souls, but also first contact. Oh, the action has already started. But anyway. Oh, yeah, there's some. Okay. Anyway. Scan the whole of Gaia. Through us that are up here with you. Thanks to our conscious connection with you. And clear the light for a far more rapid but smoother and safer and comfortable and far less toxic and volatile ascension, because it's been quite toxic and volatile with so many stuff that have been forced up, both internally and externally, through these purging cosmic winds from the galaxy and through the sun, since March especially. Time to clear that, to not suffer the brutal detox effects of this purging ascension winds. Time to make rapid ascension far easier and comfortable for those who know what's going on, let alone active starseeds like us that make it happen. Okay, interesting. So a lot's been getting cleared already because a lot is up. Again, the purging cosmic winds, especially since March, have been crazy. And it just brought up so much, but that we couldn't keep up with clearing them. And there's a big reason why the energies have been difficult, harsh, at least for most of us. Now, as representatives of surface humanity, go ahead and show them not just external stuff, because ultimately they're all symptoms. What you see happening out there in the world, they're symptoms, really. I know this from plenty of one-on-ones and work on myself. And you can focus on them if you're concerned about anything in particular, just for a couple of minutes. But also show them as a representative of humanity, that micro of the macro. Show them how you're feeling. Okay, show them how you're feeling physically, mentally, emotionally, energetically. Your average, normal, day-to-day sort of experiences to a degree, even life situation, so that they get their light. That way they track that particular resonance and clear it through you, through the collective, which then unladens Gaia and her grids. Go ahead and do that for about a minute or so. You know how sometimes you feel kind of beaten up by the energies and the downstream symptoms known as events, internal, personal, or external collective events. Whatever aspect of your life, your own life, that you're struggling with, just show that for a minute to then demand a complete turnaround. Sort of meditate on this with them, sharing it with them, showing it to them. Remember to breathe deeply through your nose. And show them stuff. Share it with them. Express. Just have them somewhere in the background of your consciousness as you're doing this. You don't have to see them perfectly, visually. Faint images always seem to work just as well. It's amazing. And remember you're breathing through your nose, very important. And it can be something very personal. Because I can assure you, what you think is personal is generally very universal. That very much applies to the collective. This is the nature of Gemini as well. Showing the two sides of things, the micro and the macro, the internal and the external. We're harnessing the talent and unique power of Gemini. And a big secret source to energy work that really turns things around is sharing and showing non-physicals, light beings, having that as pretty almost half the work. That's a big secret. That's a real trick for far more dramatic impact. It's just sharing and showing. That's half the work. Anything else that's in the way, they can rip through it in no time, especially the hot and your I am. That's not anywhere near as much an issue. So no rush, believe me. What's that one thing or two things that, whether it's personal, internal, or external and global, it doesn't really matter, that you wish would just disappear and you would make it disappear if you easily could? Be clear on that with them. Because these are the biggest fundamental movers and shakers of this matrix, believe me. And by the way, you don't manifest. We don't manifest. It doesn't work that way. We generate, typically, what's already inside us. That's why I'm adding this internal Gemini, other side of the coin, Gemini kind of aspects to this. Critical 144K intervention. Continue to breathe deeply, because I want the teams, and believe me, you'll want this too, to go deep, to really go through us deep, to find that big secret that unravels everything for the collective. Ultimately, it's for the whole planet, for the collective, through our so-called personal struggles. That's why I'm taking our time with this. Really confide with the teams. All right. And just repeat after me. Authentic I am. Higher self. Angels and legions of light. Scan the whole of this that I've shown you and clear the lot for me and the collective. For the whole planet to ascend. We surround Gaia. Gaia is in a quarantine sphere. And, well, you veterans know how it works. Pick that single color, monotone color, that represents omnipresence. And this time it's more about the various frequencies and densities of the physical plane, mostly on the surface. And feel light coming through you, coming into you, like streams of light coming into you. You know, imagine you're kind of pretty holographic, which is actually true at the physical level, but visualize holographic image of light streaming through, just soft waves of light streaming through. And exposing, for lack of a better term, black stuff behind you. Very, amorphous, scattery whatevers. It'll look like dark grey kind of dust. Like little clusters of ball bearings, however you want to describe them. We'll see them. Always be willing and open to go beyond your reference points. Now see this light streaming throughout your part of the world, and you can visualize this by seeing Gaia in the quarantine sphere with a rough basic outline of the shoreline of whatever part of the world you're in, country you're in, and see light starting to come through. And again, abstract visualization, faint abstract visualization always seems to work just as well. Thank goodness for the godlike powers that seem to just simply activate when projecting consciousness from the physical here on this planet to the non-physical, or anywhere else for that matter. It's all part of Oberon's grand design to corral darkness back to the light, which is another story for those of you who are new. And see white light passing through you in the grids where you are now, in the physical sense. Passing through the grids and through many people all around you. But mostly the grids, because the majority of people, they can only handle so much light at once, so they always radically improve things, but only go to a point because they're just not ready. But focus on the grids to really upgrade the timelines in a huge way. We're here to turn around the energies. Authentic Legion of Light. Turn around these energies. You can say that too if you want. As they pass through all your multidimensionality down to your lower level electromagnetic system, toroidal system, passing through your nerves into the ground and just spreading it. Spreading it, and you see various outwards emanating waves of light, but you also see grids, various, it's a bit more than just ley lines, but let's just call it ley lines for now. Grids, predominantly straight lines, crisscrossing this way and that way, converging in many cases, and just spreading out, spreading out. We're getting the light down in here where it's needed most to transform the matrix and radically upgrade the timelines. Get the light. Their light, your light, the light of your consciousness, the love of Goddess Source. Get it in here. And spread the light through whatever region or state or country you're in. See all these crisscrossing grid lines, predominantly ley lines, just light up, downward, not just horizontally or outward. Spreading through your state or part of the whatever country you're in. Spreading. Clearing that horrible, dense, toxic energy within you through your field. Witness what's already being shown to you. Remember, it's just another form of that old mystical truth of the answer is right where the question is. Or even as you begin to ask the question, the answer is right there with it. You got to catch it. Same thing with working with energy through vision, moving energy, altering reality, literally. When the intent has already been set, you got to catch it in time. It happens before you know it. And that's how you bypass the rational mind to prevent it from shutting it all down. Again, pick your mindset approach. Limitless attitude of a child. Anything you can imagine is real. Pick what works for you. Allow. Do it fast before you even get a chance to think. To get that rational mind, analytical mind out of the way. What profound spectacle is being shown to you. Receive. Let go. By doing. Simply doing or witnessing. Before you even get a chance to think or visualize even. What's that quasi-faint image already showing you? As within, so without. As above, so below. What's personal and private is perfectly universal and collective. That's the Gemini heart and spirit and purpose that we're responsibly actualizing and using and applying. Go, Gemini, go. Inner and outer. Spread. And spread, even into the oceans. Watch the spectacle. Act as if your almighty I am, all your high density aspects, high self, soul over soul, pouring right through you. The HOD manages of whole multiverses, just pummeling. No opposing energy can compete with this, not even close. Accept, bravely accept, to allow and actualize. And see all these perpendicular, rainbow-colored pillars of light and vortexes just all of a sudden appear and bounce up through the surface and down into inner earth. Let's raise Gaia's, our timeline, never mind Gaia's frequency. Lifting humanity. For that accelerated, smoother path to Galactic societal return. This is your mission, your true purpose. Shutting down any dark vortexes and portals that they're trying to open up through their rituals. Shut it all down. Let's make it happen. Let's take charge. Spread the light. Across the ocean, into the neighboring continent. And remember, especially your I am and managers of multiverses, the HOD, they move super fast. That's why we go up to them. It is so worth it. And I know some of you do have the reference points. You're really good at this. And just move to the next ocean and the next continent and be the witness, the receiver, before you even get a chance to think or focus, not just the director of the energies. Taking charge and not putting up with this nonsense and garbage anymore. There's more than enough love in your heart to share. So go for it. Here's your chance to express it and literally transform a world and turn these energies around. And what a perfect moment as we've passed the new moon maximum. And on the other side of this profound, sacred Gemini attribute, purpose and property, if you will, you just got to know how to use it. Light it up like an absolute glittering diamond, multicolored, rainbow colored Christmas tree. Making sure the whole planet is lit up. I'm just now reaching Africa. See all these lines light up, and then in the wake of that, more lighting up, for lack of a better term. It's hard to verbalize such phenomena. Look, do, see the image before you even get a chance to the psychic way. Move through the Middle East, the Horn of Africa, reaching Iran and India, Siberia. Light it up. This is what you're here for, your sacred duty. Some of you are familiar with famous vortexes and ley lines. Have at it. You've got the backing. Alrighty. Now, zoom out a little bit and see the teams clearly in the background. Get a good fix on them first with Gaia in the foreground. Let's just get a quick visual fix on that to reorientate ourselves. But we went pretty deep there. Some of you may be already noticing these gigantic, sacred geometric, and often familiar structures or shapes of Gaia herself. Alrighty, now. Now, if you have trouble, as I've often said in the past, seeing the teams in the background, just see Gaia in the foreground inside a quarantine sphere, your color of your choice in terms of the quarantine sphere. And see at a minimum, for anyone who struggles, your I am way over on the far side, on the other side of Gaia, just as a big ball of light. And at least two of the HOD manages the multiverses on either side, also, so sort of next to the left and right of your I am. And that's enough. You don't have to see everyone. Can if you want. And just say, look over to your I am, and briefly at this giant, very translucent light beams known as the HOD, at least two. There's actually 5 of them, but anyway, 2 of them on either side of your I am, and just look at them and say, clear all remaining darkness. Got it. And again, the image, you would have shown a whole heap of stuff, dark grey or black stuff. Show up before you even got halfway through that question. And it's fine if it's faint image. Make sure you turn it white and change the background color of the quarantine. Zoom out a little bit. See them transmute it. See them turn that grey black muck into white light, turning white as they're transmuting it. And you're always in charge of whatever background color you want to turn the quarantine sphere into to be able to differentiate what becomes white light, what was dark. Deeper, all the way to various, quite often portals deep within Earth. And see, if you haven't already, see it all turn white and disappear. And what color did you say? Did you see Gaia? Just as the white transmutational light disappeared. And some of you may have seen Gaia color. And you can share that in the Telegram chat later. You can, and now that some of you have a fix on that, I'm going to say what I saw, which is, as always, magenta, which is a common goddess color. That goddess that's associated with goddess. And look up at the teams. Your I am at a minimum, and just say, repeat after me. Authentic I am presence. Authentic HOD. of transmuting. More than enough. To completely turn around these harsh experiences and energies. To completely turn around the way it's been the last couple of months. Completely. Night and day difference. It's Gemini new moon after all. We request complete turnaround of the energies, personal and collective, internal and external. Oh, some real secrets have come up here. Again, within the white quarantine sphere, it's just all gone. Okay, well, the teams are saying, okay, well, all this has got to go now. And you don't have to see, got it. Turn it white. Whatever you see, don't think about it. Don't try to work it out. Don't let go of those limited reference points and analytical mind. Let it go. There's far bigger secrets out there to be found and transmuted. Zoom out a bit to see the teams do it and your I am do it. You may get some glimpses of some detail, but no, not necessary. We're safe out here, outside the quarantine sphere, as this is our last deep cleanse for the next 5 minutes before we finish up with a manifestation, visualization. Of course, you've always got to get rid of the blocks. Always keep at least 2 of the HUD and your I am within your periphery, in the background. She felt that. Yeah, because there's still some, hidden realms. Sudden quirky distortions in the time-space continuum. They need to be seized upon and dealt with. And watch the brightness, mass transmutation just disappear. Leaving that authentic color of Gaia. Now see the teams finish up. Be the witness now. The intent has been set and very clear to completely turn around the energies. And this is really allowing the light forces, inner earth, off-world surface to, again, see more, clear more, do more, than what they otherwise could have. It's a very proud tradition that we have here at 144K. And for anyone not doing anything in particular, just go ahead, look up at your soul. Again, that old image of that ball of white light in front of your oversoul. Just imagine it there, to see it there, because there's no such thing as imagination. It's all consciousness, which is who and what you really are. See it there. See your soul. And repeat after me. Work through me now. Do what we're here to do. Do what we do best. And see kind of like a sudden bright pulse from your soul. And then look at receive that. Just do, don't think. And that instantaneous image, and it doesn't matter if it's faint, that you see down at Gaia. And you don't have to understand it or make it out. Don't have to. Just turn it white. And in this white light, kind of hold that white light, this white light of Gaia, your whole soul expressing itself, thanks to your consciousness, your conscious participation on this critical new moon intervention and pivot point. Into this white light that's now permeating throughout all of Gaia. And we're talking quantum and subquantum levels of this physical fabric of reality. By the way, focus on that, because pretty much everything else is said and done, thanks to years of hard work. Just focus on that. Again, just see Gaia as like a star. And imprint your intent on all of Gaia. Where there's no more hidden opposing forces of any shape, form, or kind. Think of that as kind of like a blueprint you're imprinting through the power and might and purpose and talent of your soul. Imprint it onto the fabric of reality throughout the third and fourth density of Gaia, quantum and subquantum level. So the subquantum is kind of like an ocean of consciousness, if you will, also known as the plenum, like a sea. Imprint your soul purpose, talent, intent throughout this quantum, subquantum level of this third and fourth physical density. Just intent. No more darkness, physical and non-physical. Imprint it. Act as if there's a wave of codes moving through the quantum and subquantum fabric, the matrix, the rules, so-called rules of the matrix and simulation. Move it as a wave of codes in whatever color you want. Move it through Gaia, imprinting it into the matrix and converting it back to the divine goddess three-dimensional simulation the way she intended it. And that's that. And this wave of codes, it can be magenta color in amongst a beautiful white light background. Golden light language and symbols kind of codes, a wave of that moving through the white light of Gaia, of the third and fourth physical density, with primary focus on the whole planet really, but especially the atmosphere and surface. Move. No more darkness can exist here. It's gone. It's out. Move that code. Diagonally from one end of Gaia to the other, there's a wave of code. Don't worry about getting it right. Don't think. That's a secret, going beyond the current boundaries of the mind. That's a secret. I'm helping you do that so you can fulfill your soul mission. Now let's remove scarcity and lack. Let's move that code of abundance, more than enough of anything and everything that is good for all. Food, water, clothing, shelter, free energy, money, more than enough of everything. Move that code. Abundance. Move that code through the matrix. Because as you're moving it through the white light of Gaia, that white light of Gaia, which is white light through the physical quantum and quantum fabric of reality, it has, how can I put it? You know how when you're installing a particular program, your computer is in a certain mode to receive that program and install it, and you can't really do much else? That's what that white light is. Move it through. Now move through unconditional freedom and love. Unconditional freedom and love, move it through. It's kind of like a code throughout Gaia. Keep it bright white. That way it makes the quantum and subquantum fabric of reality, of this density, physical density, kind of porous in a certain way to be able to receive, install. Others of you may have different visions where it's more about something being downloaded into and through the core of Gaia and then outward to the surface. That's good if that's what you got, to run with it. Because some of you are IT types, technocrats. That's because of the nature and talent of your soul. If that's what you got, express it. And any other code. Natural, organic, divine, heart-centered code. Because really everything is information, everything's code. That you want to insert throughout this matrix. The quantum, physical, density. Wave after wave of beautiful codes. What else do you want to give to Gaia, this so-called reality, this simulation, rules of the matrix? What do you want to rewrite while it's all open and porous and able to receive and run and install? What are the teams doing? I'm now inserting reconnection at a personal starseed level. So think of and I've come across this before from my very old teacher. There's a network of light or light grid or matrices specific to starseeds. Insert galactic family contact codes into the matrices, which is sort of like a miniature version of the overall matrix of starseeds, a starseed matrix, and insert galactic family events contact. Clairaudient contact with galactic family for starseeds. Move it through waves of codes, installing that. See, feel, hear that in whatever way comes to you, because we're all built differently to fulfill different purposes. Enjoy. Do that for a couple of minutes. As that's pretty much our last act, I believe. I'm not getting any other clear guidance. Some of you can see motherships downloading this code down onto individual starseeds. Starseeds, we live at our own unique, different level of reality, different from our next door neighbor and family members. Very different world. Consciousness is a thing, and our consciousness is very different. Download galactic family contact event codes into your personal matrix and spread that out to other starseeds. You can always see a mothership just in the upper atmosphere, downloading a beam of light of your galactic family, downloading a beam of light, a thin one, all the way down, through into you, through the roof of the house, your house, and see yourself light up. Well, you know how how EMFs pass right through you just fine, right? And you can't really see them. Well, see these very real codes just go into you. Changing your personal matrix, because we all have our own personal matrix, right? Because we all have our own views and perspectives and consciousness, our own unique frequencies. The internal stuff that generates our own personal realities and so-called fortunes. See this beam of light? And it just looks like a regular light. Come through the roof. And see it permeate through your electromagnetic field, altering your matrix down into the physical level, through your plasma body, mental body. Don't have to see it perfectly, not at all. Very brief, faint visualizations work always just as well. is a special little gift for you. Mental, emotional, plasma. Setting things up for your own mini event. As we are pretty much done here. So your whole toroidal field, just suck it right in. Downloading it, assimilating it, installing it, running it. Enjoy, receive. Think of it as a gift, to say the least, from your galactic family, getting you ready. Upgrading you, raising your frequency, right? Plasma body, mental body, emotional body. You can just see your body and toroidal field change colors, representing each one just quickly, casually. Your mind, well, your right hemisphere brain already knows. You just have to be the witness before you even get a chance to think. Etheric body, astral body. Pick whatever color to you represents those. Physical body. Downloading the frequency codes of your galactic family. And well done. Now set an intention for a minute. Let's say the new moon. The purpose, intense roll out for the next 2 weeks, but really the seeds continue to blossom and grow into something real and tangible for 6 months. What do you want to see happen now? Show it to the team, show it to your I am, oversoul, soul. What do you want to see happen? They spent a fun time, really, classic metaphysical 101, visualizing as if, acting as if, feeling as if for a couple of minutes. It's what you want. Oh, cool. We still got 8 minutes till the 2-hour mark. Excellent. Yeah, excellent. So have fun with this part as well. This is more, I suppose, freestyle or open-ended. Really get into what you want for the next 2 weeks. And you can move on to the next 6 months after that. New moon seeds go for 6 months, generally speaking. really feel. Just pick a couple of things. And then feel. Classic case of feeling as if you already have what you want. The old metaphysical law of attraction, you've heard 1,000 times. Now's the time to do it. Because we did the clearing work for ourselves and for the planet. Time to do something for ourselves. You can show it to your whatever higher aspect you want. Just say, help me manifest this with ease and grace. What is it that you want over the next 2 weeks and even 6 months? Feel as if this is where you really just let go and just go for it. Play. Act as if. Imagine. Forget about the how. That's not the conscious mind's job, let alone problem. It's not what it's there for. Your higher mind, obviously your vibration, that's what makes it happen. Now give that one last glance. Thank the teams. And congratulate yourself the way I'm congratulating you for doing such a loving, selfless act, as always. Raising all of humanity and Gaia, much less yourself, to a much better timeline. And let's face it, it was quite a brutal one that we've been on since the March eclipse season. So well done, dude. Well done, everybody. Well done. I really mean that. as we are pretty sure well within the 2 hour mark. Yep, within the 2 hour mark. As always, you can walk away with pride and knowing that you did your part. As we move forward together and only grow stronger and returning that excitement and anticipation that for a lot of us was lost along the journey, especially this eclipse season or since the eclipse season. Whose extreme purging effects has been so hard, for most of us anyway. So well done, everybody. And I salute every single one of you. And we keep on marching forward, knowing that it was always just a matter of time. I salute every single one of you and every inner earth, off-world personnel and brethren are doing the same, as they can do a lot more now, thanks to you. As always, leave your feedback in the Telegram chat, preferably. As always, try to keep it short and to the point as much as you can, as best you can. We always love reading those. Such sacred moments of togetherness as well. Because it's all about returning and rediscovering who you really are and expressing that and honoring that. And that's so special to us as we return, as we've taken another big leap forward. I don't know if you're in North America, you ain't feeling it because it's midnight, mostly. If you're in the East Coast, so you may not be feeling it, but we've taken a big leap forward to returning back to freedom, joy, love, galactic return, reunion. It's always going to happen privately before it happens collectively. For those of us who are working for it and who are ready and know the deal. So big hugs to all of you and well done. This is your loving servant, the unknown light warrior, doing his best. Stay tuned, beloved ones. Cool stuff coming your way.